Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for tuning in. My name is PLOT THICKENS. Welcome to Your Ground, Your Voices Amplified. And today I'll be speaking to Shema Vudzi, who was part of the duo Shem and Nathan. You'd remember Aripo in Indofara. They made so many hits, and the guy is still doing music. He's still active in the arts. And we'll be talking a bit about the whole period, the urban grooves era, and move into what is presently working on, and just the state of the arts and what's happening in South Africa and also Zimbabwe. Is working in the two countries. So welcome to you, and thank you so much for taking your time.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on your program, Plotman. Thanks a lot for the opportunity.
Great, great. I've been waiting for this opportunity for a very long time, so it's indeed an honor to be speaking to you. And just to break the ice, a lot of people remember you as part of that duo. What happened to Shem and Nathan?
Okay, so Shem and Nathan, we broke up in 2003. We went our separate ways in 2003. Then I did my my solo project, which was called Azine. That was my first album. And there were songs like Azine, which was, I think that year it became number 5 in top 100. Then there were other songs like Boogie Jive, songs like Ndamira and Danieta were on that album also. So that's how my solo career started. But musically, we started as Shem and Nathan. That was in 1996. That's when we recorded our first single, which was titled I Do. Then the producer was Fortune Mparuza. Then it took us about 5 years for us to release that single. Because at that point, no one really took the urban sound seriously. So we had to struggle for a good 5 years before our stuff started being played on radio. That was around 2001, before the introduction of the urban grooves movement and stuff.
Wow. This is quite interesting. You worked with Fortune Mparuza, you worked with Delani Makalima. But
yes.
You know, this morning I was just going through my archives and bumped into some material from Fortune Mparuza. Tell us just a bit, how was the experience working with a legendary producer like Fortune Mparuza?
I can say it was more like you're going to a university, Kushandana Fortune. He taught us a lot of things about the industry. Even the day when we finished recording our track, I can say some of the stuff that I still go back to is like more like the words he told me when we finished recording. Was he told us that even though this is a nice track, don't expect to make it with this track. It's going to be a tough journey. Doors are going to be closed right in front of you. Muchafamba butsi dzichapera. And it really happened. For 5 years, we knocked on ZMC, we knocked on different studios, but everyone was saying, can you please add on more songs? They will say, this music doesn't sell, because, you know, the narrative in Zimbabwe was about Sungura. Then reggae was also, then also you have your Western type of music. So all those things now that he told us, okay, guys, muchafamba butsi dzichapera. And muchavharirwa madoor right in front of you, but musaore moyo. It took us 5 years for Zim radio stations to start playing our stuff. And I would like to thank the likes of Elizabeth Chengeta was on Radio Zimbabwe.
Radio Zimbabwe, yes.
Which was Radio 2 by then, and Gift Msipa. Those are the people who started promoting us. Kudzi Maruza was on, it was Radio 3 by then. before being called Power FM. So they
Wow. Okay, I don't know what happened to our connection there, but we'll try to reconnect. And sincere apologies for the loss in connection there, but we are back again. I was speaking there to Shem, and Shem, you were talking about your experience getting into the music industry, and after your first recording in 1996, it took you guys 4 to 5 years to get
5 years.
5 years to get your
5 years.
first, yes, to get your first breakthrough on radio. And
Yes.
but you guys never gave up. What kept you guys going on, like trying? 5 years, I think, is too long a time. I know a lot of youngsters of today, they will not even wait 1 year. If they cannot break through 1 year, they're giving up, or they think somebody is hating on them.
Okay, I think we go into different careers for different reasons. For some, it's a hobby. For some, it's a passion. For some, it's a calling and a purpose. I believe I'm in the music industry for a purpose. There's something. I think that's how I communicate with people, and that's how I touch people's hearts through my music and my art. So that's why I never had a passion for anything except music. So that's why I kept on going, even though we were humiliated so many times. I remember we used to go to Jenaguru.
Yes, that was the biggest festival.
So yeah. Yes, but the office was in Mbuyane. But I think we spent 3 months going to Clive's office because he had promised to sponsor us before we recorded our first single. So he has promised. So we spent 3 months arriving at his office at 6 a.m. Or then he'll just tell us to come tomorrow, or you tell his receptionist that tell them to come back tomorrow. So we'll arrive there at 6 a.m., leave 6 p.m. Then he never, up until a time he ended up running away from us for 3 months.
Wow.
Yes.
And yeah.
Then within those time they were organizing the Jenaguru Arts Festival, music festival and stuff. So his office was always packed with musicians and all that. So we had the privilege to meet Mr. Balk.
Yes.
Then he listened, and when we started recording demos, you remember those Walkmans?
Yes. Yeah.
So we would play an instrumental on radio, then we record our voices on a Walkman. Those were that's how we used to record our demos. So we met Mr. Balk at Jenaguru offices. Then he listened to our stuff. Then he encouraged us and said, "The guys keep pushing and stuff." So those are some of the people who actually told us to keep moving and told us that the road is not easy. There are going to be a lot of obstacles. And may his soul rest in peace, Mr. Balk. So then after that, after 3 months, we finally spoke to Clive and said, okay, we've been coming here for 3 months and stuff, and it seems like nothing is happening. Okay, then I think it's time we move on. Thank you so much for your time. And that was 3 months, arriving at his office at 6 a.m., leaving at 6 p.m., and he never comes. And sometimes you'll spend the whole day without eating anything. And coming from the ghetto, even getting bus fare to go into town
was a struggle.
Yeah. So sometimes we used to walk from Kambuzuma to town. That was before 6 a.m. so that we can arrive at his office at 6 a.m. Then we walk back home. So that was the thing. Then up until he took us to Fortune Mparuza. Then we met Fortune. Fortune said, he's willing to work with us, but he needs money. Then we had to go back to our parents and told them, okay, this is what we want to do. In that time, he was charging about 100 US per track. Then we met him. He listened to our stuff. Then, okay, guys, I'm willing to work with you. I'm willing to help you. Then we had to go back to our parents and told them that, okay, this is what we want to do. Music is what we want to do. Can you please help us? Because we were not working those days. So they gave us 50, Nathan's parents gave him $50 and $50 on my side. We went, we paid Fortune. He recorded us. And I remember, I don't know if you remember Ian Hillman.
So I missed that part.
He's one of the twins we used to play with Andy Brown. One is a basketball. They're based in Germany, right? So they came and played live instruments on our track and stuff. That's how we got to know them. Then from there, it was all history. Then we tried to push the stuff on radio, but we couldn't get on radio because of the type of music that it was R&B, and no one really wanted to play Zim R&B unless if you are from the other side of the world, then they will play you. So we pushed up until 2001. Our single started playing on Radio Zimbabwe, which was Radio 2 by then.
So it started on Radio Zimbabwe before Power FM, before Radio.
Yeah, it started on Radio Zimbabwe, yes. Then we hooked up with Teach. He pushed us also, Innocent Manasseh, Kudzi Marudza. Then from there, that was in 2002 now, because we released this in 2001. Then we met Gilbert Moarigo from Shamiso Entertainment.
From Shamiso Entertainment, yes.
Then by then, the guy who was working as a
Okay, I've lost the connection there, but I'll try and reconnect. Please stay tuned.
Then after that, we met Delani.
Okay.
Yeah, we met Delani. Then we recorded Aripo Angu and Nofara. Those were the singles we did with Delani. Then we were featured by XQ on his first collab called Pandaka Kuona. He featured us.
You guys were on that song?
We are the ones who did the chorus on that song. Pandaka Kuona, Hana Yakaroa, and all that, yes. Yeah. So then we did the chorus on the song. Then we worked, then I started.
So you were talking there about your first hit on radio and also how you got to work with XQ on his first major radio hit.
Yeah.
And fast forward, now you guys are stars. You're celebrities. Your music is getting airplay. You are on the charts. And how did this transform your life? Did this bring money into your career? Did this change your life in any how? How was the transformation like?
Okay. It opened up a few opportunities, but monetary-wise, I wouldn't want to say there was a lot of money. But there was money in the industry. But why I'm saying this is when this thing, Pachaka Putika, no one was ready. So we had producers who were making good music, because there was Delani, Fortune, but the likes of Fortune were making a lot of money already because he had been in the industry for a long time. Yeah. If you have really noticed that Fortune never used to work with a lot of musicians. He would work with one musician, then he's done with that project, moved on to another. He was never like a mass production guy, if you have really noticed. He used to work with Innocent, he worked with the other guy, Mageta, and Mageta, I can't remember, Langton Dale or something of that sort. Yes. Yeah, a few artists, then we were part of those few artists that he worked with. He was more into jingles and stuff. So then monetary-wise,
so our connection seems to be giving us a bit of challenges there, but we'll keep trying. Thank you so much for those that are joining us once more. Apologies for the loss in sound and connection there, but you were talking there about how the industry was, that there was a lot of film that came to you guys, but you didn't make money out of this. And you were talking about some of the reasons why you believe that the urban grooves artists, including you, struggled, that there were no real managers, there was no proper marketing, there was no proper management. Can you take us through this?
Okay, so zvaiitika ndezvekuti papasina management yekuti kana kuti vanhu vakure vabude muzimbabwe vaite zvimwe zvinhu zvekuti they can survive from music varimo muzimbabwe vachinobata kune dzimwe nyika. Issue yakanga iripo yanga iri yekungoti your music is played on radio, a promoter calls you kana music yako yanetsa woita mashows. That old system ndo yakanga iripo. Pasina vanhu vanga vari innovative zvekuti kana kuti I want to break through into the Australian market or Swaziland market or Ethiopian market, wherever. It was just about music yangu paredio yarira ndichadaidzwa kubulawayo ndonoperforma ndichaenda kuVic Falls. So in that sense mapromoters akapedzisiro akutora advantage yekuti vanga vasinganyatsobhadhari mari dzadziri consistent. Patakazotanga kutonyatsoziva mari, it was a bit too late. Mashows mamwe anga akutozotibhadhara later manje tane experience, but we were doing our own management and stuff, of which mapromoters anenge akutora advantage kana achinegotiata newe kuti aplot ndoda kushanda newe, ndoda kuti uye uzoridza kugwanda, but ndiri kuoffer $100 because iwe unenge wakuzonyara munhu what, then sometimes you just accept up until kwakumberi uko ndo patakazotanga kunyazotozobatawo mari nemashows akuzoti oh okay, this is how it works and stuff, because pekutanga it was more like a try and error, but you want to live on music also, but uchingoda kuedzawo futi kuona kuti zvinofamba sei. Saka chakabva chatanga kuiuraya chekutanga chakabva chazoita kuti urban grooves izodona. I know you had a discussion ye-urban grooves futi some other time yekuti sei yakadona, but the main reason kudona kwayakazonyatsoita manje, you remember payakaintroduced that 75% thing to Zimbabwe.
Yes.
A lot of DJs were against that, and some of them would even tell us kuti ticharamba tichikuridzai kusvika vanhu vakomplaina, kusvika vanhu vabhoekana, of which that's what happened. Vakaramba vachiridza the same people vasingaridze vamwe vanhu.
Okay.
Ndo pakuzosvika kuti vanhu vakapedzera kukomplaina kuti takudo other things and stuff. But if you look at it on the other side, and I would say this today, vanhu vedanso vanofanira kutenda the people like Tempoman. Because ana Tempoman ndipo kutanga kubrancha vatora ana Sniper vese vakabva mudanso, makatarisa ana Shinso, they were working nemagroups ana Chigutiro, ana one of those urban grooves record labels. Team idzo dzakabva ikoko, ana Tempoman vavasplita manje vavabuda vavatanga kupuwa maprograms paradio. I specialize mainly on reggae and dancehall. Urban grooves ndokubva yasiwa yakaita sei
iri painga iri
uku ma-DJs already vakaita sana Davis Mgadza vanga vasingatodi kutoplaya ma-urban grooves. That was the main problem. Saka pakatanga kuita more like, sorry?
You know, I'm saying that's quite an interesting, because I actually thought such DJs were the ones that were really like on the forefront of pushing urban grooves and Innocent Chuma.
No, Innocent Chuma was for the urban grooves. I support my urban grooves. But pakatanga kuita a revolt from a DJs yekuti vacharamba vachiridza, vamwe vacho vaitotrudha kuti we are going to play you up until vanhu vakomplaina, vanhu vabhoekana nemusic yenyu vachakomplaina chete. Ndokuzodzorwa kwakazoita unza no 75% haisi kuita, but kune vamwe vanhu vainga vasingatoridzwe vaitoendesa music yavo vachitoti music tinayo iyi vasingaridzwe. Then pakatanga issue yekunzi quality and all that, but mungada kuzotarisa kuti kune vamwe vanhu ezvinezvi vakatoregedza music nenyaya yema-frustrations. You look at vanhu vakaita sana Roy and Royce, you can't say kuti vairekoda music yange yakaipa vanhu vaya.
Yeah, true.
Then we go kuvanhu vakaita sana Odious, concentrate more on the Zim market because of my frustrations anenge anenge ariko, even though politics idzo dzichitoriko nanhasi. Then you look at vanhu vakaita sana ana Lamont Chitepo vari kuUK, they record mavideos akanaka, they record music yakanaka, BK and cars and all that.
Great.
Vanhu vanorecorda music yakanaka, music yacho haipuwe chance.
But I mean,
So
I'm looking at that. Like, there's an interesting twist of things to say. Very few artists, though Agaramba Vachipoa, a lot of airplay, and two people started feeling with our Eben Group star Bonayo. But do you think that there are any lessons that artists got from the Eben Group's era? Right now, we've seen dance, so it was at a point where at least in a single week, 24 hours that was dedicated to Zim Dance alone. I'm talking of programs that were happening on all the radio stations, added up to at least about 24 hours. And now the content, there's Zim Dance is too big, but it's not as big as it was in 2014 and 2015. Could you say it's exactly the same thing, that the genre got a few artists that got more access, more airplay until people are starting to have a bit of disconnect? Or is artists that failed to evolve like what we're seeing in South Africa? The South African industry right now is growing, is big, is huge. We've seen even some of the African giants, they were working there in South Africa, the likes of Burna Boy, they were there in South Africa, the likes of Pato Ranking, they were also trying to make it in South Africa. But in Zimbabwe, we're still having the same kind of conversations. We're still where we were before. Have we moved? Have we progressed? What could have happened?
You on an issue, especially yeku-evolve papo tisingablame futi ma-DJs vedu on the side ye-urban grooves. Vanhu havana kuzoda kuchinja sound kuti vachimitawo ma-current trends zvichienderanawo nezvinenge zvaakuitika panguva iyo. Ndo zvimwe zvinhu besides ma-DJs vanhu vakada kuramba vachiita the same things. Pane vanhu vekuti zvinezvi vakarekodha, vakamborekodha kudhara, ukamunzwa ari kuita the same things zvavaiita 15 years ago in song, but ukamuteera kuti ndozvavakaita 15 years ago izvi. So enoiswa ne-new crowd unenge wakufanirawo kushandawo nemanyu audibles, ma-generations ani inenge ichichinja, vanhu vachikura pachiuya imwe generation. But yamataure edancehall also, even now makatasa nearly every radio station kuZimbabwe ine 1 or 2 programs ezim dancehall. Nearly every, ndisingazivi hangu Radio Zimbabwe neNational FM, but mamwe ma-radio stations ese ukaenda unaona ZFM unoona ana Judgment Yard, anani Star FM unoona DJ Mbale, Power FM unoona Merciless and everything. They are being represented. That's why iri kuramba iri pairi ezvinezvi. But the thing is now, chandinozoti hangu vakapenetrata market yekuZimbabwe vakapenetrata, but vatadza kupenetrata outside Zimbabwe because zvakungofanana. And remember, dancehall, vazhinji kana vachoteera dancehall, it's a borrowed genre from Jamaica. It's not a Zimbabwean sound.
Urban Grooves was also like borrowed from the American R&B hip hop. Was it not the same thing?
You could pick my artists ekuti uyo varikuita, like if we talk of guests, those guys were deep into R&B, but you can't say Alexio is copying from America. If you listen to our sound back then, you can't say taikopa kuma Americans or ma British. You had some guys raita hip hop waitozva kuti uyu nevamwe havaimba kuti zoti vari kuimba sa Genuine or sa Cisco, vanga varipo. Not everyone was doing that kind of thing. If you look at Mafreak, you can't say vaikopera the American sound or the British sound. Vanga in their own unique sound. Even Rocky makamuteerera anga ine sound yake yaitoita sei.
Yeah, it was. But looking at the current musical trends right now, I've been studying how Kwaito has evolved from the time when it was Digong, Kwaito. Now we have seen a lot of sub-genres. Now we have Amapiano. We had Gom the other year or two, and Okay, fine. We and then we go to Tanzania. We have seen how Bongo Flava has also seen that kind of transformation. Diamond Platinum. These are all artists that came from a movement similar to what Urban Roots was. But still, Zimbabwe is nowhere on the global map when it comes to music, apart from music that is done by the likes of Mokomba, Nobuntu, and so forth, and Oliver Mtukudzi, the late legend, and Thomas Mafumo. But outside that, Stella Chueches, outside that, the urban generation, the youthful generation is struggling to even be heard in South Africa. I was talking to hip hop artists from South Africa. They have nowhere to be found in hip hop. They don't know Zimbabwe.
Yeah, I remember one day when Nasty C was in Zimbabwe. I don't know if I know you know my Afrima Awards.
Yes.
He was in the same category na XQ. I told Twitter to vote for me, vote for me. Then you went to perform in Zimbabwe while people were voting for those awards. If you are to collaborate with the Zimbabwean, ndiani waungwade kucollaborate naye akati handizive anyone who is good from Zimbabwe. I interview pastar FM handina anyone wandinoziva from Zimbabwe, but ipapo angatori same category na XQ. I don't know anyone from Zim. Paita some nominations, obviously. So then the other.
But then where does this take us? Where do we go? Where are we? Because right now we have the likes of Buffalo Soldier. They are there. A lot of these big international African music icons from the urban pop movement, they actually passed through somehow. They've worked with the likes of Buffalo Soldier. They've worked with a lot of Zimbabwean producers. We see Zimbabwean producers that are producing this content. The likes of Mr. Camera, the likes of Simba Tanks. They're making music for Mr. Easy and so forth. But Zimbabwean artists are nowhere. We're nowhere to be seen. We've seen Beyonce having a production done by Brian Soko. Where are
Brian,
we?
yeah.
Where are we? Where are we?
Zimbabwe. Okay, South Africa. It is an industry. I'll take you back a bit, and then I'll show you a few things. I've seen you with the likes of Tibo Touch also. So the thing is, if you look at South Africa, it's an industry. And when we talk of an industry, we are talking of DJs, we are talking of events organizers, we are talking of musicians, we are talking of record labels. In Zimbabwe, before I explain, I'll tell you this, we had an opportunity, Ekuti ma artists could have gone kubuda muZimbabwe vachinoita zvimwe zvinhu. In 2002, I came in South Africa, ndakauya nemasingles edu. Ndikaenda kune imwe record label. They were happy. Vanga vari willing kuti marketa muno South Africa because we were signed to Galaxy Records yengeri yana Delani the team. I went back ndakavaudza kuti this is what is happening, these are the people, they are willing to market our music in South Africa. Yes. Nothing happened. That was an opportunity yakaenda. Then prior to that, we could have been signed by Sony BMG. But takanga tisina management, we were all doing our things on our own. We did not know takatotumidzira zvinhu zvedu ikaapprova BMG and all that. Then the deal fell off somewhere. I don't know kuti zvakazongofirawo kupi because we did not have vanhu vaiti dzidzisawo business. But this is how you do it in the music industry and stuff. But takudzoka back to the issue yekuti why South Africa iri kuhita. Mungada kutarisa mapindiro akaita Digong, ana Oscar, ana DJ Fresh.
Yes.
And mungada kutarisa each and every DJ who is into music right now. Most probably he has been a radio DJ or he's a radio DJ right now. But as Oskido, ari ku Metro FM. Fresh ane record label yake ari kushandira KFM. Ana Euphonic vari kushandira na 5FM. Ana Kent. So it's a network of, and they are not only DJs, they are events organizers. So vakatanga kupusha a South African brand. Ndokutanga kupushwa kwakaitwa chi? Kwaito. itobhambo dzikambijana kubva kwapinda house ikati pakapinda hip hop wanotaza ana DJ Speedster ana DJ Jaws, they all work for Metro FM and other radio stations, so vobva watanga kupusha that movement.
So these guys,
but kuZimbabwe
what are you saying there? So before you go, you are saying in South Africa they are curating culture, they're actually developing and pushing the culture. They are not just consuming. Varukuto, my DJs are they're part of the back end and the front end system. They're part of the whole culture.
Yes. Ukada kutarisa back in Zim, my DJs mangana organize my events, or they are just DJs, they wait for their paycheck or when it has my MC. But after in big business, rekuti kana kuti vanoita mari semunhu akaita sekuti kana kuti Oskido. Vangani vanozviita kuZimbabwe. Handisati ndamboona one. It's that they are MCs.
Talking of that, I mean, it's quite interesting. But when I look at that, I look at, for example, Teach Matters. I attended one event in Harare, and there was Teach Matters, there was DJ Smoo, and DJ Smoo was saying, "Look, this guy that you're seeing here, in the name of Teach Matters, he's a legend. This is the guy that schooled us all. This is the guy that opened space for us. He had a club in Jersey. He was on TV, he was on radio, and he did like major moves that inspired a generation of most of these young, successful, enterprising South African entertainers."
Ndakaiona video iyoyo, and ndo vanhu vatanga tiri kufanira kuita look up to.
And where are we going wrong? Because I look at, there are so many celebrities and celebrities and a lot of people that are popular online and offline in Zimbabwe. We have a lot of people that carry the title DJ. We have people that are doing also marketing and stuff. But still, we don't have an industry. Somebody was saying just 2 days ago that we have a very informal music sector in Zimbabwe. Music sector in Zimbabwe, yakafanana nevanhu vari kutengesa airtime. You know, it's almost like a vending sector. Possibly it should join the National Vending Association, because this is how it operates. If you have a hit, you're the artist who gets consumed. But I look at South Africa, if Freshly Ground does not have a hit, they are still getting gigs, they're still getting booked. Zolani is still performing, right? People don't necessarily rely on this. They rely on their catalog, they rely on what they've created and what they've built. But in Zimbabwe, we don't have that. If you don't have a hit, I tell you, you will struggle unless you have a very corporate appeal and you're playing for very few people that give you enough money to live.
In Zimbabwe industry, hapana baba. Then the other thing is, vanhu Zimbabwe tajaira bootlicking. I think that's why muchiona tine matitles akaita ana Boss Ningi, Say What. We don't have, like, ndakutokupa example, andi Burna Boy anga arikuda kuuya kuZimbabwe.
Yes.
Then makaona that events company vakuti maartists postai muchiti mafans akuvhoterei kana muchida kuperforma naBurna Boy. That's very humiliating. If you want an artist as an events company, chingotora munhu Burna Boy ari kuuya uri kuchaja mari, you know kuti vanhu vanokufarira, but maartist akureducedwa to something else ekunzi endai online moti muvhoterwe. Kana mavhoterwa anenge aine mavotes akawanda ndiyo achichaisa paposta. How humiliating is that? So I think nyaya yebootlicking ndo inonyanya kuZimbabwe. Even makada kutarisa from our government also, inyaya yebootlicking yekuti vanhu vanenge vari very loyal ndo vanenge vachirekera. But on the other side, as an artist, you don't have to wait for opportunities to come to you. You have to create your own opportunities. KuZimbabwe tajaira kucreaterwa ma-opportunities. That's why tichifaila. We wait kuti Burna Boy arida kuuya, want to perform naBurna Boy. Ndokupa example yemuno muCape Town yekuti kana kuti Ninga akanzi ari kuuya, maartist ari muhobho mamwe anenge asingazivikanwi, but promoter anenge aine a lot of people at his exposure vasingadi kubhadharwa. Vanoti I will perform for free, or I will just perform for 200 rand. Zova zvatanga kuura industry, but somebody is looking for exposure. But my promoters and vatora that
Yeah, but I'm looking at something like this. There are so many of Zimbabwean artists that are based in South Africa right now, and Zimbabwe has a huge
Yes.
community in South Africa, in excess of 2 million Zimbabweans that are living in South Africa, and I think that is already a huge population that can create and drive a culture that can drive an industry, right? But I've not seen, apart from Shasha, apart from Bekezela, apart from Berita Kumalo, I've not seen a Zimbabwean artist, or Norman Masamba, I've not seen any other Zimbabwean artist who's based there in South Africa, who is doing it so big that they are also accepted, appreciated, and consumed by the local South African community, or let alone by their own Zimbabwean audience. What could be the problem?
Okay, when it comes to okay, muno South Africa, I think tina one promoter is serious, wandinoziva inini hangu, which is extra time.
Extra time.
Like Anatonga, yeah, those are the guys vanoparata zviri professional wandinoziva pavanhu vandakashanda nawo. Makataurirana zvamunenge mataurirana ndizvozvo, and it goes, hakuna problem. But apart from that company, and neumwe ainzi Mofu Promotions, but akazoitika maissues ekuti vanhu vakapwaza show yake yakapazwa, then kwakazoitika a lot of damages, akabva azoora moyo. Saka within the zim sector yacho yeindustry, kutangira kuma-promoters vane masabotage avanoitirana. KuDurban ukatoendesa artist usina kutaura nawo unotoburisirwa pfuti.
Zimbabweans, are you talking of Zimbabwean community?
MaZimbabweans vanotokuburitsira pfuti. Vanotokuburitsira pfuti kuti waunza artist usina kutaura nesu sei. That's Durban for you. Then munomu macho kana uroda kuentertain a Zimbabwean crowd, vanouya vokonzeresa futi noise kuitira kuti popwadzwa zvinhu, then madamages ozobhadharwa and all that. Ndo issue kumachi iri kuma-promoters. Ukada kutarisa like muCape Town, I'll talk of what I know muCape Town. Ma-promoters mazhinji emuCape Town pane ma-venues asisingapuwe because of chaos inoitika kuma-events awo. Yes. Then mataura nenyaya yema-performances, variko vanhu vanotoita mamwe ma-shows like like inini, I'm one of those. I've performed even in Parliament more than 6-7 times. I do my motivational talks music yangu and all that. I've done my festivals akaita sana Grahamstown Arts Festival.
Yes.
Ndine mamai andinotoita yekuti the only time yandaiperforma panoya yandachiperformira in front of a same crowd was time yauya Mudhara Oliver. Ndo time yandaitoyeka because ndakatomove out from my issues exide resume entertainment, because at some point ndakatozombobirwa mari ndaorganize, and I used to organize a show yainzi Zimbabwe Night every October. Ndakazopedzera ndabirwa mari one of my popular Zimbabwean dancehall artists, akatozonditswanya maoko, akauya nematsotsi vakatora mari yangu so ndopandaka vanoiziva nyaya yacho vanotoiziva, so yakatombobuda munewspaper nyaya iyoyo. So akauya nematsotsi vakanditswanya maoko, vakaenda nemari yese yange yaitwa, bhava rakazara. The owner of the pub akatoti no, handichada vanhu kuti vapinde, madhoo akatozovhurwa kunzi mhepo ipinde. Then ndikabva ndatorerwa mari, ndopandakabva ndaora moyo. Then ndopandakashifta manje, ndakati no, rega ndichitanga kuita zvinhu zvinonyatsondifadza zvisinei netimu yekumusha, ndotry kubreaka into mamwe mamarkets. Even mavenues anoimwa vanhu ini ndinopuhwa muno because of reputation yandinayo.
I get you. But now moving forward, because I've seen
yes,
Zimbabwean artists, when they come to South Africa, they perform. We don't see them except for very few, the likes of Selma Mtukudzi, Oliver Mtukudzi, and very few that also make it in newspapers and on radio stations, on TV. But if a South African artist is coming to Zimbabwe, Koni makamera edu isusu majournalist tichitora say we are writing about these artists, but we don't see the same happening when Zimbabwean artists are there. Is it because Zimbabwean artists don't know where to go, how to do, and what to do? Because you guys are there, but is there a plug? Is it a failure on the part of Zimbabwean artists, or they have no audience at all, so nobody's interested to even hear their story?
It goes back to the issue yatambotaura yekuti kuZimbabwe hatina mamanager. Hatina mamanager kuZimbabwe.
But
so far ndisati ndaona.
Well. Do artists prepared to be managed? Ma artists imimi muri kuda kumanagwa here.
Hakuna munhu anoda kuita zvinhu ari egani. Everyone anotoda kutomukawo achitonzi pinda muresa, ita so une interview kuPower FM, une interview pa Earground Radio, uri kuita so. Everyone wants that, but hakuna vanhu vari willing to do that kuzimba vanoziva industry. Because industry ndeyekuti kana kuti kuZimbabwe ino zvaakunzi kana kuti munhu akanoperforma kuUK anenge aita sei, anenge atoita, but kuUK kwacho arinoperformerani. And ukada kutarisa vanhu vazhinji vanoenda kuUK panopedzera pane maissues ekuti havana kubhadharwa, havana kuita sei kana kuita sei. Hameno kana makaitarisa trend iyoyo.
I've heard the stories, yeah.
And to be open enough, whether vanhu vachataurisa kana kuti vazhinji vacho kana ari musikana aitsaid ane boyfriend chikomba chiri kuUK chomubhadharira ticket, but anenge asingandobhadhara mari napromote obva aiswa paposta. Kana ari mukomana inenge iri girlfriend inenge asota ticket kuti vauye vaonane obva aiswa paposta. Maposters here, mari yacho inenge ichibva kupi yekubhadhara vanhu vese vanenge vari paposta. It's one or two mashows andiitwa kuUK kuti unozoona kuti panenge paine this company iri kusponsor or pana mukuru or this company which is sponsoring, but most of my shows anenge angori yekungoti promota necompany yake yakangonzi kana kuti Earground Promotions, popanzi kana kuti vanhu 20 paposta. But ukada kuzotarisa kuti vanhu vacho nekupinda kune kuita vanhu vacho vari kubhadharwa sei, ndopaunozonzwa maissues ekuti or at times unotozonzwa munhu amwe ari paposta but hautombomuzive, utongoti but ninga ari kuenda kuUK, but so those are some of the issues.
So where do we go? Where do you go from here? You know, I wanted to talk a bit about your music, but I think we will need to have a day where we speak about your music. You've spoken about so many interesting things. Where do we go from here? You have seen different generations of the music industry in Zimbabwe. You worked with the likes of Fortune Mparuta. You know, if you say Mr. Bauk to some might not even remember, you know, but you worked with this guy, you have known this guy, and you know the likes of Clive Malunga. Now you know the new generation of artists. You're still in the music industry. You're still there also working also as a promoter, you know, doing events. Where do we go? Zimbabwe music is struggling. We've been talking, we've been having summits, but we seem to be struggling at the same point. Where do we go from here?
Okay, the first point ndeyekuti I know some people might not agree, but the first point ndeyekuti tikudze maartist edu in a way yekuti takaprotecta industry yedu the way inoprotecta maSouth Africans nedzimwe nyika industry yavo yekungoti any artist anoziva kuti they can send music kuZimbabwe inoskongoridzwa, because maZimbabweans anything foreign tinongotambira. Saka zvinoda kutangira kuministry yedu, zoenda kumaradio stations voita like ukateerera Metro FM half the time vanenge vachiridza local music, it's either amapiano or they promote each other. So zvakatangira ikoko maDJs oeducatwa kunzi imimi you mustn't only survive on being DJs, at least you need kunge muri ma-events from ma-events managers or muchiitawo ma-events and stuff, muchishandawo nema-artists muchiita sei.
Yes.
Like right now tine a sector of ma-promoters, we have a sector of ma-DJs, we have a section of ma-artists. Then pane chiri kuleka apa chekunzi kana kuti management apa yekuda kuzoburitsa munhu. As an artist, manager wangu anogona kuuya kwamuri muri record label Earground Productions, ndine this artist, toda kuti auyo aridzwa muSouth Africa toita sei and all that. Like ndakudzokera kumashure mbijana makatarisa vanhu vegrama hameno kana vakazviregedza vanga vaine time yekuti vaiuya kuno kuSouth Africa nekuenda kune dzimwe nyika vachinotsvaga music yemaforeign artists kuti iridzwe nekutengeswa kuZimbabwe, but they did not take mazim artists to say imimi zvamuri kutipo these artists mukwanise kupromota vedere. There was a time yekuti ndaitonzi nevanhu vegrama hakuna maartist ari kunetsa kuSouth Africa ndehapi tiuye kuzotora music yavo tivamakete kuZimbabwe, vachitoflya vachiuya vachigara mahotels munomu, but ivo they had no power rekuti regai tipromote our own artists ikoko kuSouth Africa.
I get you.
So the issue iri kufanira kutangira kuministry yedu iri kufanira kutora the arts industry zviri serious. Then DJs anofanira kueducate music iyi inotopinza forex munyika, like ezvo zvakada kuti asa tinotoburitsa more money munyika because ana Burna Boy pavanouya kuZimbabwe, maZimbabwean artists haatreatwe maartist, ana Casper Nyovesi pavanouya kuZimbabwe, maZimbabwean artists anenge achingonzi maopening acts and all that, havatreatwe as maartists.
But I have a question there, sorry to interject. If the same Zimbabwean artist is given the same platform, will they give the same kind of value in terms of performance? Vanonakidza here kusvika palevel iroro, vanounza mari here zvichaita this other artist? These are some of the questions that a lot of promoters ask, to say, look, you want us to give you 50,000 that we're giving Burna Boy, for example. Are you going to perform and bring me back even 5,000?
Then I believe with money, Babaga, anything is possible. Makada kutarisa ma-artists ari muZimbabwe, big up to Ja Praiser, I survive in this industry. Nekuomaka zvakaita kuZimbabwe, but look at where he has penetrated. He has penetrated my markets. Winky D, hakuna big company iri behind Winky D, a record label. Hakuna a big funder behind Winky D.
Yes.
But look at where he is right now. And vanhu vakadaro ivavo, if you are talking of my crowds, kangani paari kuzosumudza crowd kutopfuura maforeign artists kuZimbabwe, even maJamaicans.
I get you.
Kangani kaanozviita. So my point is kuti kana paine finding iripo yakanaka yekuti maartists ari kubhadharwa zvakanaka and vane mari yekuita zvavanoda pastage, you will see kuti even mastage not even maartist chete. We go kuma Star F Music Awards, that was a low budget event. Can you compare that to a Metro FM Music Award?
No, not at all. But I mean, talking about
you can't.
Talking about money being put in the industry, you guys from the Urban Grooves generation, you were getting money from the government. The government was putting money towards the Urban Grooves. You had the space, you had the money. The government was organizing Magala, and I hear the Minister of Information was giving money towards artists. There was an association or associations or movements that were getting money that were connected to Urban Grooves.
Izvozvo zvangu ndakazozvinzwa zvakutaurwa the other day when you were interviewing some other guys. Maybe zvakaitika ndabva, I did not know about that, but all I know is patai performa pamagala, they paid zvakanaka. There were no problems. They paid good monies pamagala. Izvozvo handidi kukunyeperai. But zvekuzonzi kune mari yakazoiswa yeka-organization or what, I won't comment on that because I don't know about my issues here.
But looking at the money that was paid, say, Magala, it wasn't that enough support from the government.
It wasn't?
Was that not enough support from the government? The government was already giving artists money, but the artists did not possibly see that. Like now we see it because there's no money being given by the government. But at a time when you guys were recipients of state-supported concerts where you were all paid, could it be that the artists didn't make... Yeah.
Dayangari Magala aiitwa every week. We would say vanhu vakadya mari, but magala ekuti aitwa after 3-4 months, then in between mashows anenge aripo anenge asinganyatsobhadhara.
Okay.
Maybe mozongoita kugala after 3-4 months or 6 months modaizwa kugala. And remember, maartists anga akawanda, not every artist would go galas every time but gala. Yeah, so so that was the issue. But yes, they used to pour money into these things, but remember that's nyaya dzekucampaign ofutika.
Yes.
So that is the issue zvayo yemagala, but yengesere kudai kunzi magala acho aitwa every week ndopataizoti okay, mari takaibata but takadya mari rafu.
Wow. And do you think we're going to see a return of some of the artists that were there during your time? Are you guys going to hit a return? Are we going to experience your music? Are you making new music? What's happening? Or each chapter yakatovharana?
Kune vamwe sekutaura kwandataura kuti vamwe vanopinda muindustry for different reasons. Umwe ihobby. For me, it's a purpose. It is a calling. So whether I make money or not, you always see my face in music industry. And sometimes the thing is, kana usiri kurira kuZimbabwe, vanhu vanofunga kuti munhu akapera. But if you go on my page, you see kuti ndinotoita mashows kwakatosiyana-siyana. Wakatotarisa unotoona mutori different races mumashows acho andinoita sei? Andinoita. So because ndakatoteaser that thing yekuda kutargeta maZimbabweans chete, music yangu ndoda kuti iite crossover kuenda kune dzimwe kune dzimwe nzvimbo. That's why ndakateaser issue yekuda kungoperformera mazimba. Ndakatomboita time yekuti ndakatoti ndakada kutumidzira music kuZimbabwe because of my frustrations ariko kuti izvezvi ukada kuenda pawebsite yeZBC kana Power FM kuti ndoda kutumidzira music ukweyo. It's a hustle. Autozwa kuti ndotaura nani kuti yafikire.
But my royalties, you are in South Africa there. Before we close the program, how is it working? Do artists really survive off royalties? Because it's been a topical issue in Zimbabwe. Maiwana Omari in Zimbabwe, and are you guys now you can bit of contrast and compare the situation with regard to royalties in Zimbabwe and in South Africa. What's your take?
Okay, ndichakwanisa kusvisa zvandoda kusvisa because I've got a lot of things to say about that. Yekutanga, I've never received my royalties from Zimbabwe. I've never received any royalty from Zimbabwe, and then registered in South Africa.
Even when you had music playing on radio?
No, I've never received anything from Zimura or ndikutaura that ndichashifta to another type of royalty. I've never received any royalties from Zimura. And music yangu iri registered kunoku neSamro. So I had a meeting with them ndichivabvunza kuti music yangu imwe ichiri kutoridzwa kuZimbabwe ukoko nemusic yangu inomboshandiswa kuZimbabwe, but I've never received mari from Zimbabwe. Mari yandinoreceiva ndeyekuno kuSouth Africa chete. What is happening? Vakanditivo Zimura vari kuti vane problem neforex, so they cannot pay us kuno kuSouth Africa. So kana une music iri kuenda kuZimbabwe, forget, because Zimura is not paying us. So isusu as Samro, we have also withheld mari iri kufanira kuenda kuZimbabwe, but the problem also is music yekuZimbabwe inoridzwa muSouth Africa haina kuwanda than music yekuSouth Africa inoridzwa kuZimbabwe. So Zimura inotosara ine imwe mari, even takatoti okay, hatichatumidzira mari yevanhu vari kuridzwa kunoku yekuZimbabwe. Zimura inotosara ine imwe change futi inenge yatobenefita futi because varototi havana forex, so they can't send us any monies. And my sheets I do like the music young. Some of my music is still being played in Zimbabwe. Then they said the other type of royalty and ipapo music yedu anandofanana aripo pakatanga Big Brother Africa was it in 2003 or 2002?
Yes, yeah, I think somewhere around
Music
there.
yedu, yeah, they used our music on Big Brother Africa. We were never paid for that. Then ndau
what
yakuno
did
kunda
Mount
visit South
say?
African. As I told you those days, kuti zvaitiremera, we were still young and we did not know what was happening and stuff. We just went back to Delani takamti ko iwe music yedu iri kutengeswa uko. Then further than that, music yedu yaitotengeswa as ringing tones in South Africa, polyphonic tones. Mudrum taitoona mudrum yakatonzi SMS this and all that. Tikadzokera tikati what is happening? Ndiani akasaina zvinhu izvi? Where is the money?
Wow.
And we were never paid for that.
And what
But
did what did your producer say? Was it Delani? Was that Gilbert Moari?
It was communicated. We communicated with Delani, but he had no answers.
Wow.
So that was the other issue. Then tapedza iyoyo, and we sold a lot of cassettes because taiti kana kuti manheru mabox aiva kana 1,000 tapes osirwa riri kuenda kuBedbridge, riri kuenda kwaKati. If I'm not mistaken, we sold over 20,000 cassettes because taitoapeka tegani totoaendesa. We never received a cent from Maridzodzo.
And
Takangonzi we are recouping our
who was
costs.
doing this distribution? Because I remember this was at a time when you guys decided
Grammar
to do your own distribution.
Grammar was printing the cassettes. Grammar ZMC was doing the printing of the tapes. People were ordering from Galaxy Records. So taito yatotonzi box 500k cassettes ziri kuenda kuBedbridge, 1,000 ziri kuenda kwaMutare, 300 ziri kuenda kwaKati, of which we could have sold even over 25,000, 20,000 copies. Even if Canada tsakanzi 5,000, we never received a cent from. Up until takatozotanga kuperforma, takutotsvaga mashows tegani. That's when Delana akazotanga kuuya after us akutoti ko muri kuperforma hamuso, tikati iwe wakambotipa mari here.
So you're saying
Akazanga kuzoya kwati
So you're saying when you guys were under Galaxy, when you were working with the Delani Makalima, you sold music. You never got a single payment for that music that you guys sold.
Not even takanga receive a payment when we went to Grammar, patakaita album rainzi moyo wangu papaine song yainzi mafaro chete.
Yes.
Ndopa ndakatanga kureceive my check after every 6 months.
And what was Delani's explanation?
Sorry?
What was Delani's explanation there?
They were just saying they are recouping my expenses.
For producing.
Of which for producing, yes. Of which nemawira aita mari. Mawira aita makassettes achibuda. My expenses actually were too much. And these are things that should be said. I don't care what people will say or what. But my expenses are either kurikupa and azive. But we were recording for free because I remember this studio was owned by Lennox Chibanda. So Taito was recording at 3 a.m. and stuff. We were recording for free because it wasn't Studio Galaxy Records. It was Studio Lennox Chibanda. So I think I in the Lennox Chibanda. So we had to come and 10, 11 or 3 a.m. to record to end. So in a way, okay, definitely we recorded for free. So my expenses aida kurikupwa. So ndo advantages anotorwa nevanhu vanenge like kuZimbabwe munhu akangonzikana kuti anoita akuda kutoitwa bootlicking kana kuti ane studio yekuti ndiye ari kurekodha vanhu anenge akuda kutonyenge, which brings me kumaartist ivo vari muZimbabwe ati munombotaura imimi kuti izvoni Vivo account yake YouTube channel yake yaitwa take down. Vafanira vanenge vari desperate pavanonosaina macontract. They don't own their music. And the other thing is, unoona mufana achiteedzana nemaprofita kuti kana kuti zvakati kana kuti munhu ane mari. vachinzita zvakati vachizopedzera vakuweka vapfana vari kunyengerera vanhu vanenge vaine mari panzvoti vapfana vaite zvinhu zvavo. Even kana ukapinda murestaurant ukanoshanda wopusha music yako uchishanda murestaurant kana kunoita windi chaiye chaiye uchipusha music yako. Look at Winky D kwaari zvinezvi hakuna munhu anonzi kana kuti Winky D akazoita take down Vivo channel yaWinky D or YouTube channel yaWinky because he owns his music.
Right. There's a Facebook post right now from that Sekalas just did today. He says, to my fellow artists, ndongoa kuziva kuti mapromoter maboss hadzizi shamwari dzenyu vari pakutsvaga mari ombiri. If you are not offering any service kwavari hausi chinhu ibhizinesi iri. Ndo zvichaitika kana tanatsopera pamarecords. Hapana phone inorira. You will be stuck alone with your family and old friends. Vauri kujamba right now. The people you are still in contact with now, vanobvunza vaswera sei, wadii, wadyei, zvakamira sei, that's your family. Vamwe sei mafanis. Munozobatana after lockdown. Saka Mwari vakazotipa mumwe mukana, let's invest. Tisazotsamwira vanhu kuti vakuti rasa because upenyu has mafanis. This is Sekalas. He just said that today. And I'm just going to
ndaiona ari kutaura chokwadi because mukada kuona mapromoters aripo pakuita mari kana usiri kana kune term yekunzi hausi kurira kana usiri kurira, for them the only payment they can give you is exposure. I remember pane pakamboofwa Sniper kunzi aiperforma neband akuofwa $50. How embarrassing is that? Sniper is a very big artist. Even though sometimes anenge asingarelease but ane catalog yekuti akatosikoperforma vanhu vanotoita sei, but promoter kuti auye uzotaura kuti ndakukubhadhara $50 uine band, iwe unozobhadhara band rako chii?
But
so mapromoter aripo pakuita mari. Then isusuwo manje maartist acho tine problem yatinayo, especially I've had my encounters zvangu. I won't mention my names. I've had my encounters yekuti unotaura nemunhu kana kuti muda kuita code. That's why muchiona kana kuti possibly the only person wandichafeature kuZimbabwe pane marecordings acho is Nathan. Vamwe hangu, the other person wandino-respect and Stana. I respect Stana. Then kune vanhu wobho kutoti kana ndakatomboshanda nawo kumu-inboxa haakupindure. Kana kuti motaura nyaya vanenge vakuti like on my side this is what I've picked up because handisi kutumidzira music kuZimbabwe. Vanenge vakuti munhu aita sei akapera, but they don't know kuti ndichitorimo muindustry zvitori heavy, ndinotokwanisa kutoorganiza maevents kunoku and stuff. Vazhinji vanova vachiperforma mumanight club tinonhuwa weight and everything kunoku, but kuri kunzi vanotanga vambokonfema nesu kuti ako chii chiri kuitika kotoita sei, but ukada kutotaura naye anobva atofunga. Kana unogona kutaura ari kuZimbabwe asvika kunoku unenge wakunzi haapo abuda aita so. Kana kuti motaura nyaya yekolabhu munonyatsowirirana kuzomutita okay chuya takuita hachaku kana takupindura ma-one word answer bo, kana kuti ndiri kuita follow up ko toita sei nekolabhu yatachida kuita bo, alright ndichataura nemi after 3 weeks womudaro uva kuti bo ndichataura nemi. Saka ndazoona manje kuti itori trend itoriko kumaartist ekuZimbabwe. Umwe munhu anogona kunge ari kurira but pasina chibhanzi. Sometimes you really want to help. I've been in the industry for a long time. Kana munhu ari kunyepa ndoziva kuti uyu ari kunyepa. But the thing is yekuti vanokupa image yekuti kana kuti zvakamira so. Saka ini from then ndinobva ndangodzokera hangu mashure. That's why ndisinganyanyodi kudhira nemaartist kuZimba because vanofunga kuti kuda kuvashandisa. Umwe anobva afunga kuti pamwe kuda kumushandisa kuti unzi dzoka waakudzoka muindustry. But there's a reason why ndisingatumidzire music kuZimbabwe. Because sometimes for me it's a waste of time nezvinenge zvichiitika.
I get you there. Wow, I mean, this has been a very interesting conversation. Yeah. Yeah, you're saying?
Pane zvanandoda kungopedzisa zvangu. Pane issue yakambotaurwa, but yakataurwa naLazy T. but ndaida kumukorekta but ndichamukorektira hangu paplatform inoyi yekunzi kana kuti vanhu vemaurban grooves yekutenga dzimba and blah 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 vanhu vedanzo vari kutenga dzimba and stuff, but the issue havasi vanhu vemaurban grooves vakafa vari marombe. Muindustry chaimo chaimo mukada kutarisa vakawanda masungura artists even now vari kutotambudzika izvezvi, vakatomboita mahits vazhinji vakafa vachitotadza kuzvibatsira but vakatombodzita mari, vamwe vasina kutombodzita mari. Izvezvi mudhanso takada kutaura mazita evanhu vakatanga dhanso vacho, vamwe vachirimo mudhanso vari kutadza kuzviita izvinezvi, vari vakatowanda muurban grooves, vanhu vakatotadza vakatowanda, but generally zvinodependa nematambirirwo aunenge waitwawo nevanhu. Then advice yandotopa hangu maartist ndeyekuti musamirire maopportunities kuti auye kwamuri. Create your own opportunities, create your own avenues. Zvasiyana nekudhara kwekunzi kana kuti Sivas Mashakada aita hit paradio obva atanga kubhukwa kukaroi, kugokwe, kwarusape, kupi. Iwewe wakutofanira kutozvicreatira maopportunities ako wegani. Nenyaya dzekunyengerera vanhu vekuti kana kuti ndingane mari zvinokuurayira career, because munhu iye kana asingazokufande you are gone, unonyura.
This is quite
interesting.
Wow, this is very interesting because I think this is also the kind of message that Sekalas is sharing with his peers. And it's great to hear it from an artist who is part of the current generation now, and also an artist who has seen 2 generations. Yeah, and I hope some are taking hint and are learning from what you have said, because I know of one incident that I gave as an example last week of one record label that lost $5,000 from a transaction simply because they didn't have a contract. And this is what's happening. A lot of agreements, they pass Pemuti, and people are waiting until it's too late for them to realize and actually work. And I think it's a wake-up call for artists, and we need to keep these conversations until we get to a point where we say, now we have examples of the success stories. Well, South Africa has success stories of artists. It has also those that have failed to make it, but they have a lot of these success stories. People that started off music that are now doing other things and still successful.
So South Africa is an industry. It has got a music industry. Zimbabwe, Mataura, it's a flea market. Hakuna industry, and munhu ega ega anenge achida kutonyengererwa anenge ari in a position of influence. So but inini zvangu I can't work with somebody anoda zvekunyengererwa. If we can't work together tinongosiyana zvakadaro. Neimwe issue yekupedzera yanachida kutaura zvangu.
Yes.
One day muchazoiona iri issue ichanetsa. A lot of artists pavanouya kunoku. That's why I singled out one promoter in South Africa nomwe ainzi Mofa akaregedza ake, ndo vanhu vanotoziva kuti vazhinji pavachazopinda mascandals ekuti kana vachiuya panoshandiswa ma-fraudulent credit cards kana kugara mahotels, ma-credit cards anenge akarohwa. And pazvichabvondoka zvinizvo vazhinji vachapinda patight, because mukugara wanenge vachitaura zvinenge zviri mumazita mavo. Ndosaka muchiona ndisingadi kuperforma ma-events anoorganizwa nevanhu vazhinji vari muCape Town.
Wow, that's scary.
Because zvine ma-issues akatowandisa. Vamwe vacho vanopedzisira vakuenda nemagonyeti, matickets abhamba, vanodzokera vanotokwira ma-long distance trucks zvaramba kunoku.
Wow.
Votodzokera kuZimbabwe. But dai kuri kunzikana kuti ma-artists anototi unotoziva kuti like inini I treat every artist as a brother or sister, because ndinoziva ma-hustles nema-struggles ariko behind that face iri kuimba kana kuti in a very good video. Kungotaura kuti guys ndinoda kuuya, even makada kutarisa kustates kune vanzana CJ Besa ana Chichi.
Yes.
Ma-artists ariko vane time yekuti vaiunza ma-artists vachinyazoita zvinhu zvavo zvazviri organized and all that. If my artist could do that, could okay, ndine munhu ari kuSouth Africa, ndoita sei ndakalinka na Shema ari kuSouth Africa, this is what we'll do. Zimbabwe, so we create a movement. Yekuti those kana ndaenda ku-SA ndakandaidzwa na promoter ndomubvunza kuti pakamira sei toita sei, even kana kuti kuri kunzi munhu ada kuuya kuzoita show, kunzi kana kuti for example colors ada kuuya kuzoita show and toda kuuya kuzoita show toita sei venue and all that. Those are the things zvatinotogona kuita pasina mapromoters mukati, but ivo manje vanotanga kufunga kuti pamwe uda kuvashandisa, or that's why ndichizoita hangu drop back. But makazoenda kupage kwangu you'll see kuti nditori nemavenues andinoperforma, as mavenues iwawo haapuwe, mazimbabweans haapuwe that venue because of reputation irimo yekupwanya.
This is quite interesting. Wow, man! This has been a mind-blowing conversation. I've learned, I've discovered so many new things that I had no idea about, and I would definitely, I actually feel that this conversation is going to create more conversations, and possibly we might need to have another conversation. But yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate the time that you took to speak to us and speak to Zimbabweans and speak to fellow artists about some of these experiences. But we have another day where we'll talk more about your music, more about what you're working on. I know you're in the studio, you're producing new material. I would definitely want to hear that. But
yes,
this has been a very heavy, but very candid, like very bold conversation. And thank you so much.
aiwa ndotenda baba, but ndakuenda hangu ndokutenda ine opportunity yamuri kupa Zimbabwean arts industry. Muri kuita a lot of work yekuti mungaritorere pasi zvenyu, but it's a lot of work ramuri kuita. Not a lot of people can do what you are doing, and once again ndoti muri kuita basa rakanaka. Thank you so much baba.
Well, thank you so much. That really means a lot coming from you. I'm a big fan. I grew up loving your music, buying cassettes, and it's an honor to actually having this kind of a chance to speak to you, because I give credit to artists that inspired me, that made me want one day to be behind the mic and document the narrative and have conversations. Thank you so much.
I